Good day everybody, Danny001 here. I have some more Firefall beta gameplay for you here today. I'll talk a little bit about the videos I just put up, the DayZ ones. A lot of people are complaining why they're so short. Well, the reason for that being, if you haven't played DayZ, there's really not a lot of action. Okay, it's not Left 4 Dead. You're pretty much trying to avoid shooting at things, if that kind of makes sense. You don't want to go shooting in cities and that and towns because you'll just attract every zombie. Some weapons are a little quieter than others, but you really just don't want to be doing that. And it's very slow paced. You have to move around very cautiously. You have to keep your noise levels down and also your line of sight from zombies. Now, both of those are indicated on the right hand side of the screen. So it is advisable that you just don't go shooting everything in sight. Now what I did with those videos was just pick the most entertaining moments, or what I thought were entertaining. And yes, they were short, but short is sweet sometimes, you know. So I will put a long video up, but here's just going to be a lot of running point A to point B. Okay, the only thing of interest might be what we're talking about, but then sometimes we don't talk for a couple of minutes, you know. So I can't, you know, put up gameplay that's, you know, action-packed of DayZ, because it's just not how the game goes. It is very much a simulator, and you're simulating surviving a zombie apocalypse, so going around, running around, shooting at shit is just not an advisable thing to do, so you just don't do it. Yeah, well, you can see in a few videos where people have shot their guns off, I'm guessing, and then all of a sudden they got, you know, zombies galore around them. It's just not what you want to do. So that's enough of that. Now let's talk about Firefall. Now I had some questions about the game on the last video that I did. I'll cover a couple of them very quickly before I get into like the main one. The beta will be having an update at the end of July. It's rumored to be the end of July. They're adding dueling to the game, and they're adding a whole mess of new stuff when it comes to manufacturing and resource gathering and that sort of stuff, and customizing your battle frame. Now this is where I want to talk about the main thing that I was asked. Now the blue shimmering stuff there, that's called the meld. Now what you want to do in this game is to work across all servers to build melding repulsor technology. Now you place those in strategic locations, the melding repulsor units, and they will push back the meld. Now at the moment we have about 25% of a 10 square mile area to play in. Once you build the MRUs, yes, I think that's how I say it, yeah, MRU, and that will push back the meld and we will have more playable area. Now 10 square miles does not sound like a lot, but the whole melding, it covers the entire Earth. Okay, now when that melding is pushed back, you know, we open up the Earth. The more Earth we open up, the more playable area we have to play in. So how did the melding get there? What's the story of Firefall? Now the word Firefall actually is in reference to the asteroid impacts that changed the face of the Earth. Now there was another event that happened where an interstellar ship that the people of Earth were building crash landed, and the engines released a cloud of the meld, you know, cloud of, you know, corrosive gas and that, which is called the melding, and that's covering the entire Earth. So humans are surviving in this, gathering resources to build the technology necessary to repulse the meld. Also there is something called the Chosen Invasion. Now that really has not been discussed a lot. They really haven't given a lot of information of what the Chosen are yet, because this game is still in beta, you know, very much in beta. There's not any of those MRUs to build yet, because there's, you know, just no player base to expand out from there. But the milestone update's coming soon. More updates will be sent out. I'm hoping to do a video for Pixel Enemy about this game, and after the milestone update comes out, and then I'm hoping to have 1 or 2 beta keys to give away to people on that video. So I'm hoping that will all work out very nicely at the end of the month. and I can have some people to play with from the Pixel Nation, so that would be very good. If you're looking for more information about this game, Red 5 Studios does have a YouTube page with a lot of videos, you know, explaining certain aspects of the game, and a whole bunch of new videos will be coming out this coming weeks, you know, like the next 2 weeks or so. One's already out about dueling, which will explain the new aspects of the milestone patch that's coming out. So this game is interesting you, that's where you want to go to get your most up-to-date and reliable information. That's where you want to be. Or you could go to the forums and, you know, have a mess around on there and have a search for what you're really interested in. So yeah, I just came across these guys doing this. I came across them pretty much 3 days in a row in this particular area. They've got 3 thumpers going at the moment. A lot of people here. It's just fucking madness at the moment. I've got my Dreadnaught still going here. I'm quite enjoying the Dreadnaught at the moment. That chain gun's just absolutely beastie. Why not? You got this little shield here too. Not very useful against, you know, the mobs and that, but against humans it's quite useful. It blocks a lot. You know, you've got to reload. Now there is a couple of techniques to use with the Dreadnaught. One in particular is when you're reloading, you kind of want to get off the ground, okay, because you're very vulnerable, you're not very quick in the movement, so you want to, you know, get up in the air, reload, then get back on the ground with your gun ready to rock. Another thing too with these mobs is they will follow you, so you want to drag them into, you know, that chain where they're just all a whole mess of them just following you. See how I'm kind of, you know, backing up and let them come in at me. Then you just mow them down with the Dreadnaught. Another thing too is the strafing left to right with the Dreadnaught's very good on large groups of them. You spray down onto them. But you know, I've just been here pretty much XP farming. I'm not getting any resources off these thumpers because I'm not in a squad with these guys. I could probably put a thumper down somewhere if I really wanted to and get some resources, but that's not really what I want to do at the moment because everything's going to be wiped very soon for the milestone, and you know, it's not really important. I just want to get my XP up and have a look at a few of the other bells and whistles that come with each of the battle frames, you know, the certain things. I think I've got turret mode at the moment. I think I do show that later on. I have to admit something too, this was actually going to be a live commentary. However, once I finished recording it, I was such a dickhead, my microphone was muted. So anybody who wants to, you know, start doing commentaries and that, remember your microphone. It's not always going to be off mute. Sometimes you're going to have it sticking on mute and it's just going to be there, and finish your commentary and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, why aren't I getting any audio, you know, on my voice, and then you realise, oh shit. So yes, it was originally going to be a live commentary, so I'm trying to remember exactly what I said during the commentary. You know, a few moments you might see where I'm like pointing something out or something like that. I just can't remember. So I'm in turret mode at the moment, right here. Rate of fire is just insanely quick. You know, you have no real spin up. So you could just, you're pretty much like a turret, you know, as the name suggests. Rob, an idiot. But yeah, I like it. Higher positions, you know, looking down on the large groups of enemies, it's brilliant. But you are stationary, you can't move. You know, you got a pretty low field of view, pretty short arc where you can fire in. So being up high, you know, where you can kind of stop, get out of it, move, you know, left to right a bit, and you're not, you know, surrounded by enemies, it's probably the best thing for that. I can't really see it being used in PvP because you'll just be stationary and just really asking to be fucking shot by a sniper or something. I tried to go, you know, but it just wasn't working, and then someone comes along and fucking saves me. Because I get fucked up, so yeah, I was thinking, oh, well, you know, these guys are gonna fucking rescue me. And this champion here comes along and rescues me. Everybody else, see, it's very cooperative. PvE is just the best, okay? There are douchebags, but you get that with every fucking game. You know, there's always somebody who thinks that they own this particular area or that they're better than you. You know, the great thing about the dueling being added is you won't have, or you will have, people still trying to challenge you for certain areas. You know, we're thumping here, so we're gonna, as soon as their thumper goes up, we'll chuck down ours, and you know, still, people do that. But now you can say, well, we'll duel you for it. If you win, okay, you can have it. If you don't, you can go away. You know, you can piss off. It's ours. But that's the great thing about dueling. I think it's going to be really good. Now you have to accept the duel. You know, it's not going to be just, oh, this guy's, oh no, it's all started. It's not going to be like that. You have to accept it. It's not going to be forced upon you. So yeah, a lot of people are complaining about it at the moment. It's not a good idea. I think it's a great idea. I can't really wait to see how it plays out. So one other thing really quickly, noticing a lot of people unsubbing, and okay, I'm not bringing Battlefield content, not as frequently as I used to, but it doesn't mean it's never ever gonna happen again. Okay, opinions change, people want to play the game, I might jump on and play with them, you know, and then record a game and put it up. But at the moment, Firefall, DayZ have my attention. I'm enjoying playing DayZ with Aussie. You know, Firefall's here for me to play. Aussie will be playing that with me when he gets in. I hope a few other people I know will be playing if I can get them invites. But it's just, you know, shit moves on. So I'll catch us again next time, and thanks for watching.